guys, welcome back. Make sure you give this video a like down below if you end up enjoying this. So today we are going to talk about getting plants for Mother's Day, which is about 3 weeks away, 2021. And all of these plants we are going to look at today are very low maintenance, don't require a lot of care. So for the mom who just doesn't have time to be a helicopter mom and hover over her plants every day, these are perfect. Or for the mom who likes plants but isn't quite the green thumb, these are excellent. So all of these will grow in lower light. Of course, they do need indirect light to produce the flowers. The only plant that will grow in any light, whether it's bright light or really low light, is this ZZ plant right here. And in addition, it is very low maintenance on watering. So I water this one probably about every 3 weeks, depending on the growth. In the wintertime, I was probably watering this one every 6 to 8 weeks. So the succulents also, very low maintenance on watering. So you have this succulent back here. It's an Echeveria type. When I got her, she was really tiny, and I put her in this little tiny pot, and I'm loving the way that she's growing. Then you have your sansevierias. The one on the left is what we refer to, us old folks anyway, refer to as a mother-in-law's tongue. I actually have an aunt who is going to gift me her 45-year-old mother-in-law's tongue. I'm just waiting for the weather here in Colorado to settle down a little bit so I can transport her safely. Once I do that, I will definitely make a video of it. It is huge, just huge. She actually has two. I want both of them, but her son wants to keep one of them, so I might be nice and let him keep one. The one on the right, I believe, is the Fernwood sansevieria. I'm not sure. If you do know, can you just put it in the comment down below? But it is making lots of babies down there. I water these guys again about every 3 weeks, all year, because they do tend to grow all year. And where I keep all of these are in a living room with an east-facing window, so they do get that brighter light all year long. Then we have our African violets. African violets are not that hard to care for. A lot of people think that they are, but they're not. The only recommendation that I would give you to pass on to mom when you give it to her is to make sure she waters it from the bottom until she gets some more adjusted to it, because when you water it from the top, and if you end up getting water on the leaves or something like that, you can actually cause a bacterial infection, which can take this plant down. Some more Echeveria right there, just 2 in a pot. It's different ways you can do it. And then we have our ivy, or Pothos, which is also known as the house weed, because once these things take off, they can take over your living room. They're very easy to propagate as well. If you just clip right at the node down here, then stick it in water, or you can stick it in the soil and just make sure the soil stays moist. But sticking it in water is the easiest way. You let the roots grow, and then you put it in a pot, and there you go, you got another plant. This one, as well as the ZZ, you can propagate the ZZ through division, or you can cut one of the stalks, soak it in water, let it produce roots, or you can clip the leaf, put the leaf in water, let it produce roots, or you can put it in soil. I am doing a bit of an experiment, and once I'm done, I'll make a video of it, and let's see what our results are. But again, these are all very low maintenance, not a lot of care, don't require a lot of humidity. They do require some form of light, except for your ZZ plant will grow in the dark. Obviously, it'll grow a lot slower because it's not getting enough light to produce the energy it needs, but it will grow. Phalaenopsis do need that bright indirect light, no direct sunlight. Now your succulents, you can train them to take full sun, but you don't want to do it immediately. You want to ease it in. And then if you look at this Echeveria right here, do you see how she kind of has the little purplish red on the tips? That's because I've gotten her closer to the window, so she's getting more light, so you can kind of make the anthocyanin come out a little bit more. Now the bonus is to top it off for mom to set her up for success. You can get her this fertilizer right here. I got it off of Amazon. It is by Repot Me. It's the MSU formula, and it is for every one of these plants that we talked about today. It's for the orchids, the succulents, the African violets, cactus, and other houseplants. Obviously, I adjust the dose for the plant need. Phalaenopsis tend to need more when they're in active growth. just because they are heavy feeders at that time. And by active growth, they're supporting a bloom, they're shooting out a new leaf, they're growing roots, they're actively growing. My succulents and the ZZ plant, I probably fertilize them every other month just because they're not heavy feeders. The ivy, I do fertilize that heavy in the growing season. In the winter, I only fertilize it once a month. And then the African violet gets a very weak feed, probably once a month to 6 weeks, so 4 to 6 weeks. But they don't require a lot of attention. Most of these you can let them dry out in between waterings. The African violet, I would suggest not letting her dry completely out, but just as the soil is drying out, give her some water. They also like to be root bound in order to bloom, so don't up-pot her to a larger pot too soon. Other than that, guys, that is it. So if you have any other easy to care for plants that you think would be a good idea to give Mom for Mother's Day, go ahead and put it in the comments down below. And I hope you guys have a great day. And if you want to see some plants that are a little more intense and harder to care for the beginner, that is for someone a little more advanced, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below and we'll do a video on that. So till the next one, I hope you guys have a good one.